be honest, I probably shouldn't have this much conviction and kudos from this much grinding, but oh well, that's how I decided to play the game. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we did a little bit of exploration around the Wolfort premises. The domain is the word I'm looking for. And we decided to figure out what we're going to do about Request from House N to basically do some smuggling. As I mentioned, I did a lot of off-screen grinding for money. Can I see weapons equipped? No, I cannot. Or items equipped. So in that case, I will just show it as such. So here's how I have everything set up. The Wind Amulet and Lightning Amulet are kind of just thrown on there. You don't really encounter those two types of magic all too much, so yeah. Just wanted to show off what we had on there. And as for our decision, I did mention this before, but we are not going to be complicit in this. Again, if you're looking for the main ending, the good ending, the best ending, you will be transporting it to the Duchy. However, I will be doing that at a later point, because, well, I have multiple playthroughs I'm planning anyways.
Lord Saranoa.
Transporting illicit salt, reporting Minister Sorceley. Poor options, both. Should have the option of taking either path. I leave the decision in your hands, Lord Saranoa. And yeah, I believe it better to venture to Hyzant and disclose Minister Sorceley's wrongdoings. Might I ask why? I don't actually know what unlocks that bottom option, because I don't think we've missed any notes. Might just be something that if you go to Frost in Chapter 3, you might be able to find. I think yes. It's better off to try to be allies with the rest of them. Speak of your acquaintances, Minister Exarm and Minister Lila, I assume. But even with their backing, we are unlikely to win the Hierophant's trust without evidence. No, this decision is not an easy one, but I truly think it in our best interest to go to Hyzant.
Saranoa.
I have nothing to prove Minister Sorceley's dealings illegal, nor would I want to put our relationship with the Holy State at stake, rather. Rather, right now, we need allies more than ever, leaving us no choice but to do Minister Sorceley's bidding. I loathe the mere thought of being party to these crimes, but spouting off baseless accusations will avail us nothing. Yeah. I think if we let them think we can be used as pawns, they're going to use us as pawns. So I have more to say, my friend. You needn't hold back. You know you can be honest with me. Yeah, I think we can gain... If we gain the trust of the Holy One, that'll be a good thing. See, so we refuse to give up hope, even though we haven't a shred of evidence in our hands right now. But you're right. Such fraudulent dealings with salt would prove to be a grave problem in Hyzant. Perhaps we should appeal to the Hierophant rather than House End. Bringing Minister Sorceley's crimes to light won't be easy, nor is it without danger. Even so, it's a path worth considering.
What do you need?
The Saintly Seven have tremendous power in Hyzant, and Minister Sorceley is no exception. Reporting his crimes comes with no small measure of danger. We must make our decision carefully. It's a difficult decision to make, but I think it in our best interest to take this all to Azfrost. What do we got? I don't know if we really care about justice.
I don't know.
Yeah, sealing enemy territory and completing an illegal transaction with an unknown entity. I suppose there's no small measure of danger there either. But wouldn't the risk of us unbelievers bringing such accusations against one of the Saintly Seven be equal, if not greater? Gila, you know more about the Holy State than the rest of us. I would speak to you on the matter a little longer if you don't mind. But of course, my lord, why are you so determined to expose Minister Sorceley's crimes? And we do know that Exarm and Sorceley don't get along, and I think Exarm, being a more military man, would be a little bit better in a war.
Yes, I see.
If we had Minister Exarm's support, our chance of success would improve drastically. It would regrettably drag us into Hyzant's political strife, but we should be able to use that opposition to our advantage. There's still time until voting commences. Until then, I hope you'll reconsider where your token shall fall. As Prince Rowan said, we should take this all to Azfrost. Using Minister Sorceley without evidence would do us no good. See, why are you opposed to going to Azfrost? It would put Roland in danger. I must admit, I was concerned about that as well. Prince Roland does not seem so worried himself, but Maybe best for us to avoid the duchy until the situation is calmed.
Then...
As for what else? Yeah. Don't care about our honor. Get close to the Holy One. I think that helps us out if we have... Ideally, we get the Holy One on our side, and we get the backing of 6 of the Saintly 7. And be damned. So, I think we just commence the voting, see what happens.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we follow Sorslay's orders and smuggle salt across our borders, or do we take another path? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You've convinced me.
Roland votes to go to Hyzant. Benedict votes to go to Hyzant. Frederica votes to go to Hyzant.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Gila. Alright, we're 5-0 so far.
I agree.
We're 6 and... now we're 5-0, sorry.
I have faith in you.
Alright. We got a unanimous vote. Second time doing so.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
And, if I read everything right, that should be a 6-0 in favor, or a 7-0 in favor of going to Hyzant and reporting Sorsley. See? You don't need all the information in order to convince everyone to your side.
Forward is decided. We march to Hyzant and expose the minister's illicit dealings. We have chosen our path. We shall head to Hyzant and alert them of Minister Sorslay's wrongdoings.
Now that we have a heading, we need only move forward. Let us make haste.
Indeed. No matter how perilous the road ahead may be, we must not falter.
Anna, begin the preparations.
Yes, sir.
In exchange for his aid, Sorsley orders House Wolfort to transport his illicit salt. Serenoa, however, intends to bring word of the minister's crimes to the holy state of Hyzant. In order to succeed, he must delve deep into the nation's internal affairs while avoiding Sorslay's notice.
So you've decided to accept my proposal. A wise decision, Lord Serenoa.
As you have requested, none shall know of the salt's
But you are still too young for true wisdom, it seems.
Huh?
He means, let us not speak of the obvious, my lord. It's prudent to speak as little as possible to prevent any unnecessary complications. One never knows who might be listening.
Fortune favored you with a capable retainer.
I beg your pardon, Minister, but I must entreat you to recall the aid you offered in exchange for ours.
I give you my word it shall be done. Booker, I'll leave the rest of the arrangements to you.
Yes, Minister. If you all will follow me into the antechamber, we may discuss the details further.
Well, oh lord, that's a lot of character stories. Including a new recruit, though. And he's a good new recruit. So let's get her. Shamaness happens upon a village, uses her power over the weather, to bring succor to those suffering from drought.
The sun's a harsh mistress, ain't she? If she sticks around much longer, my fields are apt to wither from the attention. I'd give my firstborn for a drop of rain.
Aye. And it ain't just the crops what are worse for wear. I'd cry over our lot, but naught but dust would pour from my eyes.
How pitiless, the caprices of nature. What grudge do the heavens bear to make the poor souls who tend the land suffer so? I would be remiss to let such suffering continue. If fate will show you no mercy, then I shall. You begged for even a single drop of rain. I shall give you more. Behold as I flood this desiccated land with nourishment.
Huh? What's that the lady said? I believe she means to pull rain from a cloudless sky.
Ha! I'd have more luck getting milk from a bull.
You must tell me if you do. We're in sore need of a miracle.
A pleasure as always to see you, my lord. You've come just in time. This lass is about to put on a show.
I am called Izana. Allow me to banish the sun's cruel rays from your domain, that your people may see a measure of succor.
Banish the sun? I wasn't aware it was in the habit of taking orders.
Will slap my ass like I was just born. Rain! Honest to goodness, rain!
How did... I've never witnessed a miracle like this.
Zana, was it? On behalf of my people, allow me to express to you my deepest gratitude.
There is no need for such formalities. I seek only to alleviate the suffering of the downtrodden in any way I can. If it is not too bold of me to ask, do you have need of a humble shaman within your ranks? Tales of House Wolfort's magnanimity have reached even my remote village. It would be an honor to serve you, my lord.
We would welcome you with open arms, and the honor would be entirely ours. Doubtless, we will have occasion to call upon your talents sooner rather than later.
And so we grab Izana. Izana is a very unique unit, very interesting unit, something that I've never really seen in pretty much any tactical RPG. Also, by the way, will slap my ass like I was just born. Great line. Let me actually just pop into the encampment so that we can go and figure out a little bit more about Izana herself. Lord Sereno, allow me to express my gratitude once more for accepting one such as myself into your ranks. When this war began, I wondered what I should be doing as a shamaness. But then you came along and I knew it was fate. I promise to do all I can to be of service to House Wolfort. Izana Kalinka! Woman descended from a long line of shamans with the ability to change the weather. She wanders the land in search of people who might need her power, that she may provide them succor. They really like succor. My people have prayed to the heavens as shamans for generations. I was fortunate to be blessed with the same gifts as my forebears. Izana works very uniquely, and that her main thing is that she controls the weather. Well, she normally controls the weather. She does start off with very powerful lightning and some decent wind, similar to what we have right now with Narv. She also, anytime she attacks enemy, any sort of damage at all, it will decrease an enemy's luck. This isn't great, exactly. Luck is not always the most prevalent skill. However, the big thing with her is Rite of Rain. And Rite of Tempest, I guess, but... So, Rite of Rain, Izana can, well, make it rain. What this does is it will put out any fires, so any tiles that are ablaze, they will no longer be ablaze, and it'll randomly form puddles. This means that you can chain together lightning, and if the dice roll your way, you can get some really good lightning chains in with all these puddles. Izana, she will take a little bit to be really useful, and she is a decent magic attacker. Not the best. I believe Narv is a little bit better. What even is Narv? Oh damn, Narv's level 14 from all the grinding. 17. Yeah, so Izana's pretty good actually. She just needs to be in fairly specific positions, but Rite of Lightning is one of the more powerful lightning spell, or just one of the more powerful spells in general that's in the game. It does somewhat diminish from being lightning, but still, Izana, very good unit. But she still has a little bit before she's really, truly top tier for us. But yeah, I'm glad we have Izana. I really like using Izana. And I'm going to try to use everyone at least fairly equally. Obviously, Serenoa is going to be used much more than everyone else because he's required for every battle. But I'm going to try to circle out a bunch of people, not leave anyone behind. But we got plenty more character stories. And you know what? We're going to just view all of these. Why not? Got one with Benedict, I believe talking with Eridor. If I remember this one.
Once we have stacked those sandbags, we should be well fortified against even the fiercest deluge.
Leave it to me. This old wolf has some vim in him yet. Phew. Haven't used some of those muscles since before I can remember.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells. I had braced myself for a full day of labor, at the very least.
Thank Benedict for that. We'd still be searching for weaknesses in our perimeter had he not been guiding us.
Indeed, but let us not understate Eridor's feats of strength.
Come now, Eridor. How many times must I tell you to be delicate with the sandbags? We only have so many at hand.
I hear you, I hear you. I'll treat him as delicately as my lady love, in the absence of one.
Now is not the time for jests, Eridor.
If you don't want me complaining and you don't want me jesting, then I guess I'll just shut my mouth.
To hear them trading barbs like children, you would never think they work so well together.
Wisdom and strength. Two pillars that keep House Wolfort standing strong.
Wisdom, eh? He wasn't always that way. Took him plenty of failing to get where he is now.
I find that difficult to believe.
Is there something you wish to share with us, Eridor?
Might be. Maybe you've forgotten the folly of 20 years past, but my mind is a steel trap. And what's our task for today?
We are to deliver this message to Lady Destra with all haste.
Seems simple enough. Send a bird.
I would not trust a bird in this rain. A horse would be more reliable, and swifter besides.
Is that so? I respectfully disagree, my friend. Either way, I'm not going to be the one nursing you back to health if you catch the chills.
Shall we make it a wager, then? Send a bird, and we shall see who reaches Lady Destra first. You had best hurry.
What? Benedict? Off he goes. Well then, where are those damned hawks? As I recall, Benedict arrived at around the same time as the hawk. If it were a sunny day, he might have won.
Ah, the folly of youth. Many of our best days were spent in Lord Simon's service. We made many such wagers, in an attempt to get into Lord Simon and Lady Destra's good graces.
I remember when...
I believe we have had enough reminiscing for one day, Eridor.
Don't be such a harsh taskmaster, Benedict. Where's the harm in a story?
Ask me that again when the floodwaters break through our meager fortifications. There is much to do and little time to do it. Wouldn't you agree, Anna?
Me?
Old friends or old enemies? Sometimes it is hard to tell with those two.
Whatever the case, our work's done for the day. And there's nothing like a hard drink after hard labor. You two care to join me?
I would love to. Please, regale me with more tales of your youth.
I see no harm in one drink.
Let's be off then.
Shall we invite Benedict along?
You'd only be wasting your breath.
Now that you mention it, I do not believe I have ever seen you two sharing drinks.
Spirits cloud the mind, so I rarely drink. When I do partake, however, I prefer to do so in quiet. I fear Eridor would only spoil that.
Clearly, they are neither friends nor enemies. They are lovers. So, a fun thing to mention about this. One thing I actually want to bring up here. So, one thing that I haven't really been showing off is that you can view profiles even in cutscenes. At any point that there is a named character, you can view their profile. I've also mentioned how profiles change over time. This includes in flashbacks like the ones that we've seen here. They do actually have different portraits. They have different descriptions. They are properly fleshed out. There are different characters in these flashbacks, which is nice and fun. I will show that off at a later point. I will probably also show this off with Archibald's. Again, Archibald does have something similar to this in his introductory cutscene. But again, I will go through those on a later playthrough. Right now, we're just trying to get the meat and potatoes of the story and what all the characters are like. Such as Roland. See what he's all about.
You've gotten better, my friend. Much better.
Only because I've had you to train with.
And how far behind would I be without Sir Maxwell's tutelage? The Dawnspear himself is my personal mentor. And still you're all but my equal.
It's been a while since we last sparred. It takes time to adapt to a new opponent.
Perhaps so. Anyhow, I always enjoy our skirmishes. No better way to clear my head after another quarrel with Father. Must all three nations be part of this mining venture? I've yet to hear a convincing argument as to why.
You do not hear because you do not listen.
Hyzant offers nothing but a sliver of their vast riches. Something we could easily do without. I understand the advantage of involving Esfrost. Their expertise speeds things along immeasurably. But Hyzant? Have you at least demanded they lower the taxes on salt? Such a change would be welcomed by our subjects and enrich their daily lives. We cannot concede everything while gaining naught in return. Surely you see this, Father.
It has been decided, and I will hear no more. You presume upon matters you do not comprehend.
But Father, I'm just...
Now, Roland, if there is nothing else, pray leave me be. I have more important matters to attend to.
Yes, Father. If only I had found the right words. If only I had kept my emotions in check. Perhaps things would have ended differently.
Blaming yourself for past mistakes will lead you nowhere. You must look forward for the opportunities ahead.
Of course. And I trust you'll be at my side come that time.
Just as House Wolford stands with the crown, I stand with you.
I am fortunate to have as loyal a friend as you.
As am I. Enough sentimentality. Raise your spear so I can knock it down.
You're welcome to try, my friend.
I feel like we'll be quite successful in knocking Roland's spear down, considering Roland isn't really that good. Let's see what Frederica has to talk about, though.
Lord Serenoa never ceases to amaze me. Despite all the hours he dedicates to his duties, he looks none the worse for wear.
Even so, I am certain it takes its toll on him. He wants to set an example for his people and those who serve him, and wishes not to worry them over his condition. Excuse me, Serenoa, but is there anything I could do to help?
Frederica, my apologies for the delay. The citizen's petition will require a bit more time, so why don't you and Gila return home ahead of me?
I see, if you insist. But please do not push yourself too hard, Serenoa.
I shan't. Thank you, Frederica.
Of course.
Is something the matter? It's rare of you to sigh like that.
Did I? Oh my.
It looks like something's troubling you. If you wish to talk about it, I am happy to lend an ear.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sometimes wonder if I can go on like this.
Are things not going well with Lord Serenoa?
No! Serenoa is as kind and gentle as ever. It is my own self I have doubts about. I cannot help but wonder if I am truly of any use to him.
Since Lord Serenoa is always working so hard, why not give him a tonic to boost his vitality? I purchased one from a merchant not long ago. It should chase all his fatigue away.
A good idea to be sure, but the fact remains it is not me myself that is serving him.
Then how about preparing a meal for him? Something nutritious to fill him with vim and vigor.
Me? Cook?
Yes. I'm certain he would be delighted by anything that you make.
But I've never cooked before. I doubt anything I make would suffice.
You won't know until you try. Besides, what matters isn't the result, but the feeling behind it. Use this cookbook. I'm sure you will find a recipe or two to your liking.
Thank you, Gila. Now then, which of these would Serenoa enjoy?
I really enjoy the dynamic between Frederica and Serenoa. I mean, like, it's not the best in all of the video games I've seen, but it still is very enjoyable. Let's talk about Anna and Eridor. But mostly Anna. But also Eridor's there.
Looking worse for wear, Anna. Long scouting missions sure ain't easy.
Easy or not, I do what duty demands. Do you need something?
No. Just reckon Benedict must be relieved you're back safe and sound.
Must he?
Course. After all, he treats you like his own daughter. Don't know any parent what wouldn't worry over their child. And he's got extra cause to fret, with all the dangerous work he gives you.
Oh? It never crossed my mind. Benedict trusts me. That's all I've ever needed.
That's so.
Do all parents by blood show concern for their children?
Wondering about yours, are you?
That's none of your concern.
I still remember how you insisted on being a scout, soon as you were old enough. You wouldn't say why, but any fool could guess it was to find out more regarding your parents. This work's well suited to that sort of thing.
Yet Benedict refused me.
And he was wise to do so. It ain't a job for an amateur. Guess he hadn't anticipated you'd trained under Archibald.
I earned his respect when he saw what I could do. The means don't matter, only the results.
I have grave news, sir. The enemy has captured one of our scouts. I know our soldiers aren't broken easily, but given enough time in the enemy's hands...
And here we are, severely short-handed. I shall call a war council, so our approach may be reconsidered.
The scout has been rescued and returned safely home.
Already? That was far sooner than I anticipated.
I hope my actions were not out of line.
No, no. Well done, Anna. I don't know where I'd be without you.
Nor I you.
Can't thank you enough for leaping to my scout's rescue, while Benedict was still pondering what to do. I'd pay good coin just to see that look on his face again. So, think you'll find your parents? Not trying to dissuade you from looking, mind. I'm only being nosy.
Dissuade? Is there something you've not told me?
What would I know that you don't? Just take care you don't end up regretting it.
I'm this close. I can feel it.
Again, while I like Frederica and Serenoa's dynamic, I also like the three-way dynamic between Anna, Eridor, and Benedict. How it's a girl and her two dads. Let's see what Huette has to talk about her history and whatever.
A whole day of hunting, and this is all I have to show for it. Wanted to give Lord Serenoa something meaty for once.
A deer is no easy prey. You are a skilled hunter.
One deer to your 3 boar? It's plain who the better of us is. I don't reckon you let a single one escape. Could be hunting is your true calling.
Perhaps. Before I was knighted, I was keeper of the Hawk's Roost. And besides, I come from a long line of hunters.
That's so. And what drove you to fight men for a living?
Lenbrook put out a call for Hawk Riders, that they might challenge S. Frost's aerial superiority. I answered that call. My training was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I won a position in the Kingsguard, where I petitioned to serve Prince Roland personally.
Seeing you in action, I'm sure you could have made a fine commander. Yet you stuck by the prince's side.
Yes, I did. Flugy has yet to return. I hope he isn't in danger.
What's this then? A traveler out here all alone, huh? And in sore need of protection by my reckoning. Hand over your coin purse and maybe we can reach an arrangement.
Bandits? Here? How could I be so careless?
I'd advise against running. Ain't nowhere for you to go.
Enough! Are you hurt?
I'm fine, thanks to you. Had you not showed up when you did, I could have ended up dead. You have my gratitude.
Is that your hawk? It guided me here. I was in the middle of a hunt, but your bird cried out as if calling to me. Thank heavens I did not loose that arrow. I've never known hawks could be so wise.
His name is Flugy, and he's more than my hawk. He's my closest companion.
The bandits are growing more bold by the day. 'Tis best you returned home.
Wait! I have scarce little to give in the way of coin, but still, there must be something I can do to repay you.
Think nothing of it. It is the royal family's duty to protect our subjects.
The royal... Good heavens. You're Prince Roland. Forgive me, Your Highness.
There's no need for all that stuffy formality. May we meet again soon.
Yes, Your Highness. That was my first meeting with the prince. He saved my life, and for that, I shall be forever in his debt. I could settle for no less than the Kingsguard.
I mean, Flugy's a little bit of a weird name, but it's to be expected. I mean, we have Hossabara. See what she's all gotta talk about with Eridor.
Ah, that's the good stuff. Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once, you know? Special like. Till he left me for a specialer someone. Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Forgive me, Hasabara. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
How about to your son?
I, to Theo.
Hasabara is not the best unit in combat, but she is still really cool. Lionel might be less cool, but he does have an awesome voice at least.
Hail and well met, my good fellow. Lionel greets you most heartily.
Ah, Clara spoke of you. Lionel, you say?
The very same, and in a position of privilege for which he is most grateful. A privilege that he would be most happy to share with the consortium, that it might prove to our mutual benefit.
Oh, a fellow man with an eye for profit, I see. What privilege have you brought me today?
A worldly fellow such as yourself has doubtless heard rumors of Hyzant's clandestine research projects, yes?
Indeed I have. Developing weapons of devastating power, unlocking the secrets of eternal life.
What if Lionel were to tell you that Hyzant has in fact created an elixir that offers everlasting youth?
I would be intrigued, and then I'd ask you how you could possibly know such a thing.
It's a simple matter of logic. Think. Why would Hyzant hide the existence of so wondrous a panacea?
I suppose they'd want to keep such power to them and theirs.
Just so. The only thing kings and nobles covet more than salt is life itself. My lord is no exception.
What are you saying? That those you serve have procured this miracle drug?
Lionel has found himself welcome within nobility's most inner circles, he is proud to say, and privy to their secret conversations. He also finds himself in possession of a certain medicine, a medicine he would be happy to part with a share of, for the right price.
A price I'd be more than willing to pay for such an incredible elixir. Do tell me, what exactly does it do?
What doesn't it do? Its imbiber is blessed with unyielding vigor, unflagging stamina, and unmitigated vitality. Demand has proven so overwhelming that Lionel cannot hope to deliver the goods all on his own. He would be willing to share his profits with the right partner, however.
If you've won the nobles' trust, then I see no reason to hesitate in helping you take some of their coin. Very well. Let me see the goods.
That makes 10, who put their lust for coin before their capacity for reason. This is almost too easy. With a few rumors and a respected name at his disposal, Lionel could sell these gullible fools their own shoes, so... They're welcome to help themselves to this purgative. And if one or two of them is remarkably long-lived, then all the better for Lionel.
And are you content to make your fortune on the backs of fools?
Ah, you? How long have you been there?
Since the morning, on Benedict's orders.
Your overseer is too kind. However, you may return and inform him that Lionel needs no protection. His work to bring fortune to House Wolfort requires the utmost concentration, and the presence of others can prove an unnecessary distraction.
I do love how Lionel's just unashamedly very greedy. He really likes money. Mood.
That tome is an apprentice's resource, if I'm not mistaken. Are you studying ironworking?
Yes, I borrowed it some time ago from the archives in the Grand Duchy of Esfrost. I haven't had a chance to return it, what with the state of affairs being as it is.
Ian's? I can't remember the last time you privileged us with a visit.
Well, my weapons aren't going to forge themselves. But now that I've a respite from my days of sweat and flame, I thought I'd continue my studies.
You hunger for knowledge the way a fire hungers for kindling.
I'd never have become the blacksmith I am if not for what I gleaned from these tomes. If it takes a lifetime of studying and striving to forge the perfect weapon, then so be it. One day, all will know the name of Ian's, the greatest smithy the realm has ever seen.
That is all well and good, but would you mind proclaiming that a little more quietly?
Yes, apologies. In my excitement, I quite forgot I was in a library.
I must say, I can't help but admire your burning ambition. But while we're speaking in hushed tones, our army has been anything but quiet as of late. You forge weapons for them, yes? Might you have any insight into the matter?
I wish I did, but I have scant time for the goings-on outside my own small forge. Though, now that you mention it, my orders from the army have increased.
Could it be that they're preparing for war? As if a war could break out on the eve of our three nations' grand new venture.
Indeed. That would be unthinkable. Esfrost's sudden attack on Glenbrook confirmed my worst fears. And once the war started, I could forget about returning this book. But I still hope to. One day, when peace has returned to our realm.
I hope you will fight by my side till it does.
Without hesitation, my lord.
Jens is a big old nerd. Sorry, Jens. He's a big old nerd. Let's see what Archibald has to say with someone who he apparently taught.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Indeed, days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Salt Iron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Esfrost attacked. A number of Rosellan prisoners who tried to escape the source were there too. including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Roselle flee. That's how she was captured. But I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Roselle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Roselle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other saintly seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
I honestly need to use Archibald more because he is a damn badass. Archibald rules. But, well, okay, we're not going to use him next episode because we're not going to get to a battle next episode. But next time we actually advance the proper story. But until then, see you guys later.